Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 3:15 p.m. You know what I mean? June 11th, 2025. Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. You know what I mean? If you hear stuff in the background, it means that they're fixing the back of my building. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck they fixing in the back of the building. They're fixing like some sort of fucking park. Some little ass park here in Fort Greene. Like, I don't give a fuck. Speaking of Fort Greene, I just found out that they shot someone right there on in Walt Whitman. You know what I mean? Like right there in North Portland. I'm like, oh shit. My hood is bad, man. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like my hood here in Fort Greene, niggas don't fuck around, man. You think they play games around here, man? Get the fuck out of here, yo. Fuck out of here. But nonetheless, I want to talk about something very, very interesting because of course, as you guys know, as you guys and gals know by now, Mariah May is in WWE, right? She's officially on NXT and such. And now she's changed the name, right? She has a brand new name, right? And she's going by the name of Blake Monroe, right? And there are a lot of people who are, pissed off about it. Mostly the AEW Sickos. The AEW Sickos are very, very angry. You know what I mean? They're extremely angry. They're angry because, first and foremost, they're mad that, Mariah May basically, ghost him. You know what I mean? She ghosted him for greener pastures, right? So she bounced for a better opportunity, right? And they're still pissed off about it. They're still sore, they're still sore and salty about last Wednesday, right? And now they're even more pissed off about, her, changing her name, to something different and such. I don't have a problem with the name. There's a reason why, she changed the name. It's funny. People think Mariah May is her actual name. No. May is actually her nickname. It's a fucking nickname. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, her middle name, not fucking nickname. Her middle name. You know what I mean? She has 3 M's in her name. You know what I mean? She has 3 M's in her whole name. You know what I mean? Like she has 3 M's, right? Mariah May Mead. That's her full name. Mariah May Mead. Mead, like the notebooks. You know what I mean? Mead notebooks. Mead is her last name, right? Mariah May Mead. Triple M, right? So a lot of people think that, Mariah May is her actual real name. But no, like I just said, May is her nickname. You know what I mean? It's her middle name. You know what I'm saying? I would say, middle name and nickname. Same, just like my middle name is James. You know what I mean? That's my nickname, James. So, she decided to change the name from Mariah May to Blake Monroe because of, certain stuff, right? So Blake can go 2 ways, right? Blake is basically, Blake Lively, right? Blake, we all know who Blake Lively is, right? And also, Blake is the name of her fucking niece, right? And the other thing with Monroe, I mean, we already know. Marilyn Monroe, you know what I'm saying? And what the fuck? Hold on real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a fucking phone call. But, we all know why. Like Marilyn Monroe. She was basically a fan of Marilyn Monroe and such, right? And the way how her promo came off, her vignette, it was basically like, it was inspired by Sabrina Carpenter, right? But like I said, I don't have a problem with the name. I don't have an issue with the name at all. Not one fucking bit. You know what I mean? It's not like WWE gave them the name and shit. Like, they come up with the name. You know what I mean? They came up with the fucking name and, it makes sense. It makes fucking sense. But the fact that these sickos are mad that, why can't she use Mariah May in NXT? Why the fuck are you even caring for NXT? Why the fuck you caring for anything WWE related, period? Period, nigga. Period. I thought you don't like WWE. Now, I mean, I thought you guys were, AEW, cockholders. What happened? Why the fuck do you care what Mariah May does in her career? Why? What the fuck do you care? What do you care? What the fuck do you care? Huh? I mean, you let her go. I mean, let her go. Mariah May's a beautiful fucking female. That is a beautiful fucking female. I'm not even into white girls like that, but she is a beautiful fucking female. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're going to print money with Mariah May. I'm sorry, Blake Monroe. They're going to print lots and lots of money with her. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to be NXT Women's Champion before the year's over. I guarantee you that. Why the fuck do you think they let go? They got rid of, not got rid, but why do you think they called up Stephanie Valkyria and Julia and Jordan Grace to make room for Mariah May? And I do think they're going to bring more people in. I know they are. I know they are. You know what I'm saying? But this notion that the fans of, that the AEW Sickos are mad, I hate the fucking name and blah, 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 blah. Douchebags, doofballs. She came up with the name. She came up with it. And it's going to be like this for almost every single person that comes from AEW, unless you are a veteran, right? Or, but then again, it depends. It depends, like, if it is subjective. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely is subjective. If you are a veteran, right? If you are a veteran, like, you get to keep your name. If you are a true veteran, you get to keep your name, especially a name that, that is synonymous with, the pro wrestling industry and the pro wrestling scene in America, right? But even that's a little bit subjective. But if your name does stick out, like, all right, bam, this is who you are, right? And the American audience know who you are, especially, in wrestling in the States, yes, then you'll definitely keep your name, right? Someone like a Danhausen, right? Let's say if it's Danhausen. I think Danhausen will be able to keep his name if he signs with WWE, right? As opposed to like a Wardlow, who I think they will change his name. Because that man will be signing with WWE. He will. He will be signing with WWE. Ricky Starks, of course, he changed his name, right? So I think it varies depending on the popularity of, if someone, bam, basically knows who you are or not. You know what I'm saying? It varies. But, with, like I said, like a Britt Baker, we know, bam, who Britt Baker is. Now, I mean, like, Britt Baker will definitely keep her name in WWE once she signs. You know what I mean? Like, she will keep a fucking name. But this notion that, I hate the fucking name for Mariah May and such, stupid. That's actually a proper name. Blake Monroe, that's actually a proper fucking name. It is. It truly is. And of course, someone said, this is a timeless Tony Storm ripoff, because the way how the Sabrina Carpenter thing was shot, the Inspired video was shot, like, you had a voice in the background and such, and it's like 1960s type. You know what I mean? It was something like that, right? But she's not trying to be like Tony Storm. She's not doing the whole black and white thing and shit like that. Like, fuck you. Like, you serious? You serious? Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, go watch your 4 hours of Dynamite tonight, because it's going to be 4 hours. Again, it's going to be 4 hours. Again. But they also need to be worried about that fucking TV deal. You need to be worried about that, because there's going to be a lot more people, walking out of AEW. You know what I mean? So, or like, let me go back to the name stuff, right? Look at Jeff Cobb, right? Jeff Cobb is not, his name was not a very known name in the States. It wasn't. Like, he was there. You know what I mean? Like it didn't stick out. It's not like Brian Cage. If Brian Cage signs with WWE, which I believe he will, once his contract is up, you know what I mean? He'll be able to still keep that name. But like a Jeff Cobb, I don't know. Jeff Cobb, that's why they changed it to JC Mateo. But other than that, like, I don't have a problem with the name. I don't. I don't have an issue with it. And neither do you. And you know what? You will get used to it. People, just like how people will get used to, people got used to Ricky Saints, you're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to get used to Blake Monroe. All right? Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I definitely will be coming with another video tonight for sure if any news comes up. All right? So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.